The 2025 NFL Draft is almost here, I promise. I mean, do you guys feel like we've been talking about it long enough at this point? I think we've been having draft discussions since what, November, December? I actually just went and looked, and the first video I made on this 2025 class was with Foots, and we talked about the top 10 receivers in December 19th. That was 112 days ago. Jeez. But, I mean, we're going to continue to talk about this draft because there's still a lot to talk about. And for today, I wanted to look at a very interesting thought experiment that someone posted on Twitter, asking the question, how should the Cowboys sequence their picks in rounds 1, 2, and 3? Wide receiver, corner, running back, or running back, wide receiver, corner, wide receiver, running back, corner. There's a million different ways to do it, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Day 112 of talking about this. Let's get into it. Now, I'm going to put this up on the screen for everybody, but Dan Rogers put out a tweet, and I really just like this because it breaks down all of the players that I would really have interest in the first 3 rounds of the draft. Running back, cornerback, and Dan asked the question, pick one player for each round, pick one player from each position. Which wide receiver, running back, cornerback combo gives the Cowboys the best draft haul? And at first, I was like, you know what? It'll be easy. I can tell you what would be the best draft haul. And then the more I looked at it, I said, I have no idea what it would be. And I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. I think the Cowboys are going to go wide receiver in round 1. So we're going to play this chart that way to start off with. If in round 1 you have Ted McMillan, Matthew Golden, Emeka Egbuka on the board, it seems like the Cowboys have interest in Tet and Matthew Golden. Of course, they would probably like Egbuka, but a lot of people say that he's not worth the 12th overall pick. If you move back, then he's an option. But for right now, let's imagine that all 3 of these guys are on the board. I'm taking Ted McMillan. I think a wide receiver in round 1 is the best way to go because this team desperately needs a wide receiver too. They need more weapons. Got to help Dak. Got to help CD. Ted McMillan in round 1. So we move on to round 2. And this is where it starts getting interesting. I think people's opinions probably start, differing on what they would want to do. But I think Dallas should spend a top 50 pick on a running back. I know people say this running back class is so deep. There's so many options. You can get a guy in the 3rd round, the 4th, 5th. I'm not willing to wait on that. We saw what this run game looked like last year. I expect the ground game to be better with better coaches. You have Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Terrence Steele did play better. Not saying he's going to be great this year, but did play better. Brock Hoffman at right guard. There's still question marks around that position, but I think the ground game is going to be better. So we need to get a dynamic back. And there's 2 names there that probably will be available at pick 44. That is Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Now, there might be other names there that you really like. They're not included on this list, but at 44, I'm probably going to go with Travion Henderson. Give me the guy that's just a little bit more explosive. If you want to make the argument for Quinshon Judkins, bigger body back, tough runner, like it's probably going to wear a defense down over the course of a game. I really like Travion Henderson. I really like Judkins as well. Honestly, it's really a preference thing. Like both of these guys had really good play down the stretch of Ohio State's run to the college football title. You can really pick either one. I would pick Judkins if you can promise me Ole Miss Judkins. Completely different player than what we saw at Ohio State. Really, either one would make me happy. Let's say for this one, we're going to go Travion Henderson, right? So that puts us needing to get a cornerback in round 3. Obviously, when you get to round 3, like Jacob Parrish compared to Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, Maxwell Hairston, guys like that, the gap is pretty large. So you're kind of losing the ability to take a starter. But in this case, for cornerback in round 3, I think I'm taking Jacob Parrish from Kansas State. I like him a lot. He's going to be a nickel corner in the NFL. He's a good, fiery player, good tackler, really likes to compete. You can watch it on his film. He's really quick to diagnose running back screens, wide receiver screens, tunnels. He can pull the trigger, get downhill. He likes to tackle. He's very physical. He was 5'9", 191 pounds, so you can't play him on the outside. He's just not big enough. but he did test very well at the NFL Combine and ran a 4.35. He's got great recovery speed that showed up on film, obviously tested well. So I think in round 3, I would take Jacob Parrish from Kansas State. So that was my first thought when I was looking at this list. And then you really start doing the thought experiment. Okay, let's say that every single name in round 1 is there. You have your choice between all of the wide receivers, all of the running backs, all of the corners. Who are you taking? The obvious answer, at least for me, and probably a lot of other Cowboys fans, the analytical ones are going to say, absolutely not, don't take a running back, but I'm taking Ashton Jeanty, right? Like the best player on the board. In my opinion, probably a good 4 to 6 slots ahead of everyone else that's listed here. I'm taking Ashton Jeanty. Do I think he's going to make it to 12? Absolutely not. I'm not holding my breath that Jeanty makes it to Dallas in round 1. But let's say for the sake of argument, let's go Ashton Jeanty in 1. So that takes running back off the board. We don't need a running back. When you get into round 2, you start looking at the second round wide receivers. Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, Jack Besh. I made a video on it and why I think Dallas is going to try to go wide receiver early, because I'm not interested in taking one in round 3. If that's your plan to take a guy in round 3, it doesn't help you at all. The wide receiver room doesn't need bodies. We need talent, and the talent starts dwindling insanely once you start getting into the later rounds, and the chances of these guys being impact players just goes down astronomically. So Higgins, Harris, Besh for cornerbacks, if you did want to go that route, like I said, probably going wide receiver, but you do have Siobhan Ravel Jr., cornerback from ECU, is injured. Not sure what that return a timetable looks like for him getting back, what if he'll be ready for OTAs, all of that stuff. And then Azariah Thomas, actually Wanye Thomas's little brother, and Trey Amos, cornerback from Ole Miss. But for this one, I'm going to go Jaden Higgins. Saw him at the Senior Bowl, thought he looked fabulous down there in Mobile. He moves extremely well. He's a big body, wide receiver. You can put him on the outside. I think he could work a little bit as a big slot. I really consider Jack Besh right here. I think I'm higher on Besh than other people around the league are, or other Cowboys creators and stuff like. I really like Jack Besh. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player, probably more so a floor player than a ceiling player. If I have to imagine both guys reaching their peak, it's going to be Higgins and Jack Besh. They're not quite the same, but I could also see you want to bet on the floor, let's go with Jack Besh. But for this one, let's go Jaden Higgins. I'm passing on the corners. I'm not interested in Ravel because of the injury, but that would be peak Cowboys football. Take the hurt guy in round 2 because you felt like you got a first round talent. That's what they like to do. But for this one, we're not. And then in round 3, we got a running back, got our wide receiver once again. We're just going to go Jacob Parrish because I like him the best out of the 3 names there. So that's another option. And we could sit here and do this all day long. If anybody wants to tell me the math on how many different combinations we could get from this list, let me know down below in the comments section. But let's do one more. Let's say that Dallas wants to go corner early. Trayvon Diggs might not be back in 2025. We have no idea. So let's go get our corner. I have questions, and the reason I'm not interested in corner in round 1, at least at 12, I have questions with Will Johnson. How fast does he run? Obviously, the injuries, didn't play the full year at Michigan. A really good zone player, diagnoses stuff well underneath, recognizes concepts. He can click and close really, really fast. Once he sees it, he's probably the most explosive corner in this draft, and that's why a ton of people like him. For Jahdae Barron, I'm not interested really at 12 either. I have questions about him, and then Maxwell Hairston is completely out of the question. 184 pounds. I just couldn't see Dallas taking him in round 1. I wouldn't be interested, but for this one, I'm probably going to bet on Will Johnson. Sure, there are questions, but let's say you want to get another outside corner. Jahdae Barron's probably a better nickel corner in the NFL. Do you want to spend a top 12 pick on that? Not really. Let's take Will Johnson. So then the conversation becomes, do you want to take a wide receiver or running back in round 2? How do you guys really weigh those needs. Let's go wide receiver once again. This time, let's go high floor. We'll take Jack Bech, get CD some help. Bech, a lot like CD, can play on the outside, can play in the slot as a big slot. He's a big body target. He played well at the Senior Bowl. I thought he flashed continuously throughout practices, had a really nice catch down the sideline from Jalen Milroe. I really like Bech, high floor player, maybe not the biggest hit if he reaches his full potential, but I think he gives you a really solid option as a rookie to pair with CeeDee Lamb. And then this is where it gets interesting and why a ton of people are really keen on not taking a running back until the third round. The names here, Damian Martinez, Byshal Tootin. Like I said, not interested in Ollie Gordon in the third round. The name that just sticks off the board, it's got to be Damian Martinez. 215, 220 pounds. Actually moves really well at that size. He's a big body back. He does a lot of things in short yardage. He can break off big runs. Now, he's not going to be this insane home run hitting threat that just takes it 80 yards, outruns the entire defense, but he is going to be your hammer, wearing teams down over the course of a game. He was good in Miami, and for a big back, he actually catches the ball pretty well. Now, he's not going to run the most crisp routes you've ever seen, but as an outlet option, give him the ball in space, let him sidestep a defender, and then run a cornerback over. Like, Damian Martinez can do a lot of different things well, just not to the level that you would find in an Ashton Genty or Hampton in round one. That's why you're getting the guy in the third. But I have a second round grade on Martinez. I think a lot of people around the league kind of feel the same way as me. I see a ton of reasons that he could potentially go between Dallas's second and third round pick. But if we're able to get him in round 3, let's go ahead and do it. And I really don't hate that draft haul. Any combination of these guys, I can't bring myself to hate it. Would I love taking a corner in round 1? Not really, but Will Johnson is a good player. Don't let people convince you that he's not a good player. I just have questions about taking him at 12. But after that, if you get Jack Bech or even Jaden Higgins, I like Trey Harris. I didn't really mention him a whole lot in this video, but Trey Harris was on pace for one of the greatest or the greatest wide receiver season of all time before his injury at Ole Miss in 2024. Like, Trey Harris is a good football player with really good pedigree coming from Ole Miss. They produce awesome wide receivers. And then to get Damian Martinez in round 3, like, I think he could be your RB1. But this was really just a thought experiment. I wanted to post a video, talk about the NFL draft a little bit, kind of talk about sequencing these picks. Like, how are you supposed to go about taking your wide receiver, running back, corner? And how do you view the value in those picks? But you guys let me know down below in the comments. There's probably a million different combinations on this that I really wouldn't be bothered with. You guys let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are almost to 40,000, so please help us hit that goal. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon.